I might do Chosen.
What about Chosen?
I want to be my. You can be my
I mean, it's good.
dancers.
I'm not a backup dancer, dude.
I'll give it like.
Mom can.
I'm not a backup dancer.
Like, turn on. Let me do it, Dad. Let me do it. Hey, you're ugly. You're a dancer.
What is going on, good people? You see that we have finally taken off the mask. You know, I wanted to take a few minutes today and just talk a little bit about these things right here because, you know, the truth of the matter is I found that there are a lot of people who wear these on a daily basis. Theirs might not look like this or like that, but they wear these on a daily basis in hopes that they will provide for them, like, you know, this confidence or build up their self-esteem. You know, we saw Khye, you know, he was jamming a little earlier, but, you know, the amazing thing about Khye when Khye was dancing was that he didn't have to wear a mask. I mean, that was just him being him, you know, just naturally doing him, where his self-esteem was to the full. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about taking off the mask and how we can kind of increase our self-confidence, you know, without having to have this on. So
We all wear them. It just depends on. Sometimes it depends on the environment. Sometimes it depends on your mood, your attitude during the day, or how you're feeling. You know, there'll be times where we wear a mask to maybe believe that we have we're a superhuman power. We're a superhero. I mean, let's face it. Everybody in life wants to be a superhero. Or has wanted to be a superhero, or at least wanted some kind of superhuman power or strength. And we all aspire to have that because we think that these things will add some sort of value to us. But the reality of it is that everything that we need is already on the inside of us. So we don't have to wear one of these to have value. We don't have to wear a mask to be valuable.
Right.
We can just be whoever God created us to be. And in that's where our real value is. Purpose equals value.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, your purpose does equal your value, and I think there are so many people who feel as if they have to put this on, whether it's at work, whether it's just, you know, going and socializing with friends, whether it's just, I mean, just to wake up in the morning, just to have to put this thing on to feel some kind of value. And, you know, the truth of the matter is, I know you and we've seen self-esteem so low, you know, to where it I mean, you wore this mask for so long that you didn't even really know who you were. And I think when we think about society, that becomes so problematic. You know what I mean? Because, you know, have you ever been talking to somebody and they say, hey, you know, I can I be real with you for a second? And I'm like, well, if you're trying to be real with me now,
Who were you just a few minutes ago?
exactly, who were you? You know what I mean? But the truth of the matter is, in order for us to truly find real fulfillment, we got to get to the place where we can kind of unmask ourselves and let the real us come out. And, you know, the real you, whoever that person is behind the mask, when nobody's looking, when the cameras are not on, like who is that person right there? Because at the end of the day, that's where you can find true joy, true peace, and you can live the life of abundance and overflow. But you got to be willing to take the mask off. In your experience, why do you think people are not willing to take these things off?
I think a lot of people wear masks mainly because society says that you have to be a certain way. You have to be a certain size. You have to look a certain way. You know, your eyebrows have to be, you know, on fleek a certain way. You know, mine aren't shaped like that popular shape. You know, I'm cool with that. I'm good. But you have to meet that societal expectation or that cultural expectation, and if you don't, then it tries to tell you that there's something wrong with who that you are, and so you put a mask, you know, to cover that up, to hide that. It's like, you know, when I go to Walmart, sometimes on the weekend, like I'll go early in the morning before, you know, like after a workout or before I put my makeup on, you know, my hair might be wet from getting out of the shower, you know, and I'll put my glasses on, you know, and I'll wear sweatpants and a sweatshirt and try to pretend that I'm in Walmart and nobody can see me, you know. And then when somebody says hey to me, I'm kind of like, hey, you know, how you doing? I hope I don't see anybody, you know. I'm not all the way people at Walmart, but sometimes it is kind of close, y'all. But, you know, I think we do that because we want to meet the expectation of society. And then I think also sometimes, you know, we're wearing shirts that match.
Yeah.
People want to be on a team, you know,
Right.
team whatever it is.
Right.
And they feel like in wearing a mask, then I can look like you and we can be on the same team. And so they don't really embrace their differences. You know, for our family, we're kind of like Skittles. You can we got the rainbow of flavors. Everybody in our household, you know, even from our pigment, everybody's different. And, you know, each one of our children has to embrace their own difference. You know, we have one who's fairer than I am, to one who's, you know, almost as dark as you are. But they're all beautiful and unique in their own skin. And so it's a matter of being comfortable in your own skin. And once you're comfortable in your own skin and you're content with just who you are, you can just rip that mask off and be that person and not care about the perception of other people, and realize it's not the mask that makes you a part of the team. It's not the mask that gives you the superpowers. It's what's on the inside of you that connects you with other people and connects you with the true power, which is your purpose in God.
And it's amazing because even as you're talking, you know, I think about, you know, when we get to the place where we can take the mask off, what it does, it allows the confidence that God placed on the inside of us to explode. Because it's not based on something superficial or it's based upon the world. It's literally based upon what he placed on the inside of us. You know, the scripture that comes to mind is, you know, be confident in this very thing, that he who has begun a good work in you, he shall perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. So it's literally like, you know, when I can rip the mask out, I can be confident in who he has created me to be. And I don't have to worry about trying to be somebody else. You know, I can be the best me. And the truth of the matter is, no matter who you are, no matter where you find yourself, you can be the best you that you know how. And that's all that you need. You don't need to worry about, you know, trying to live up to the standards of somebody else when all you have to do is live up to the thing that God placed on the inside of you, because that is when you have real confidence. And when you have real confidence, that's when you can really walk with joy, walk with peace, and really be able to shift and change some things in your life and what you do.
True confidence comes from inside of you, from you really being you. I don't think anybody, even though they might seem like they're confident when they're hiding behind a mask, can really be confident. Because the only thing that you can truly have confidence in, which confidence is just a form of trust. The only thing you can really trust is the real you, the truth of who you really are, and embracing every part and every form of that. And, you know, I don't know if you can handle the truth, but some of y'all know, you said something about, you know, courage and confidence. You know, some of us had that liquid courage back in the day.
Yeah.
Before you were saved.
Yeah.
You know, you had to drink a little something or do something else, whatever.
You had to put your mask on.
You had to put your mask on before you could go out and, you know, feel like you could be social. And there's some of you right now that you're doing those sorts of things. You know, maybe it's not, you know, using alcohol or using drugs or whatever, but you feel like you have to do certain things. Like if you don't get to the gym a certain number of times, you know, if you don't, whatever it is, if you don't have the right clothes to wear or whatnot, you feel lesser than what you should feel, and you don't feel confident in yourself. And so you'll use those things as a crutch and as an aid to make you able. And those things don't make you able. They really disable who you really are.
The thing that I found is that the only way to truly find out who you are is to find out what he said about you. You know what I'm saying? And I know for us, you know, our faith is huge. Our faith and our belief in Jesus Christ is huge. But it wasn't, I know personally for me, until I really understood who he was and how he created me, that I knew who I was. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember those days at the club. I remember those days at Studebaker's and the Toy Tiger and all those different places. I remember those days. But the truth of the matter is that wasn't me.
No.
That was the image that I was trying to create in my mind. That maybe appeased something on the inside of me. But the truth of the matter is it never really appeased anything on the inside of me. What happened was when I found him, that's when I got the real peace. That's when I got the real joy. That's when I could look in the mirror and say, you know what? This is who he created you to be. And you know what? That's okay with me.
And absolutely, I think before your experience with God, there's nobody else really in this world that you can stand before without a mask until you have that encounter with him. Because in Jeremiah chapter 1, I believe in verses 4 and 5, it talks about that he knew us even before we were conceived.
Yeah.
Even before our birth, that he put a special plan and a purpose. He put that confidence on the inside of us to carry out what we're supposed to do. And so when you have that moment, when you come to God and you recognize him as sovereign, you recognize him as the Lord of your life, that's the first time in your life truly that you have been without a mask, that you have been without a label. You just literally, like that the label is torn away from. I mean, you don't have that anymore.
Right.
All the ingredients are completely bare right there before God, and he said, okay, this is what you are. But it's just an awesome thing to be in a relationship with God and trust, have something you can trust in, and know that I can be whatever he made me to be. And being in that relationship truly does release that. Because I know personally, before that, I wasn't me. I walked around, I did things that I'm not proud of, and carried a lot of shame and a lot of guilt. But then he came in and he wiped it all away. And the Bible tells us he cast it into the sea of forgetfulness to remember it no more. And he can forget it better than I can, because sometimes I'll even try to put the mask back on and condemn myself. I even try to hide behind the shame, and that sounds weird, but I'll even try to hide in that place of guilt or shame. It's not always, the mask is not always necessarily about confidence, but sometimes it's about just not functioning, not being or operating in the who that you are, whatever you're hiding behind. And sometimes you're hiding behind things just so that you don't feel like you can do it.
Look, we just want to challenge you all today. This week is the Take the Mask Off challenge. So wherever you are, whatever you got going on, listen, take your mask out, throw that thing away, and look yourself in the mirror and ask God, say, Lord, who is it that you created me to be? Like for real, like really, not this fake image, not this fake trying to meet up to somebody else's expectations. Like who am I? Ask yourself that question and listen, and don't put that mask back on, because the truth of the matter is, like you said, when God created you, Jeremiah 1, he says that he formed you, he ordained you, he anointed you, he set you aside for a specific purpose. And I truly believe that your purpose is here, it's now, and it's time to grow. Take your mask off.
Take your mask off.
That's all we got.
Peace.
Can't be a superhero all day.
Oh, Mom.
Hey, JuJu on that beat. Now slide, chop, hit the front. Don't stop, hey, don't stop, hey. Run a man on that beat, hey. Run a man on that beat, hey. Run a man on that beat, hey. Run a man on that beat. Now do your dance, do your dance, do your dance. Hey, you're ugly. You're a dead son.